we're here out in our woods. This is Judith with Ramble Bee Farm, and one of the projects that we're doing this spring is actually collecting maple sap to transform it into maple syrup. And actually, when I say we, it's really my son. It's a wonderful thing when you live out in the woods, a little bit in the country, a little bit rural. You have the opportunity to do so much more. The kids have an opportunity to learn. And actually, I want to be thankful to a church brother of ours who got our son engaged in this. You know, it's great when we invest in our kids, and also when the community invests in your kids. So today we're collecting some maple sap because we are going to be cooking it down. And this is my son, and we're going to follow him around as he goes about collecting sap today. We'll kind of give you an idea of what the process is. We are still newbies to it. This is our first season. Of all the years we've lived here, we have not touched these maple trees, but you know, this is the right time given the times. We have to kind of, you know, get our own stuff and be able to access what nature has in store for us. Spring is in the air. Trees are starting to bud. So he goes and he collects his syrup before schoolwork time. Let me see how you're doing with this one. Well, this one is producing something. Yeah, and let's see. It's clear. Looks like water. So it's not the typical of what you know maple syrup to be. It's when you boil it down and you concentrate the sugars. And so here we go, another good put. Look at that. It's a good. And this is each day. Wow.
So I'm going to be taking what I have from previous.
So this is a really nice sized maple tree, and what's happened is you kind of get about an inch or half inch hole into the tree. You put the actual tap in, and then the tubing, and then you have a collection bucket or basin. There's various ways of doing that. We're still learning. We're still newbies. So it's been quite exciting. We have a lot of sap right now, and so we'll see what we get and how much we get from it. So we are out here in the woods practicing social distancing. So every day since he's tapped them, he goes around and collects it. Collects the sap, so they're kind of scattered throughout our property. I think it's a great tool to have kids have some responsibility, and he was the one that took the lead on this. Here's the next maple syrup collector. And here we go. We got some sap here. Look at that. So it's clear, and once you boil this down, once it's boiled down, it becomes that color that we're familiar with, because then the sugar is much more concentrated. So, and each day um, Josiah comes out before his schoolwork and collect the sap, and we keep it cool until ready to be boiled down. So you know, it's great to be able to invest in our kids, give them something productive to do, especially if they like it. That's one of the things about kind of homesteading and being on the farm and being helpful is finding out where these things come from, having so much more appreciation for what we have and how it's made, because we're going to be doing our own maple syrup. Oh, life is coming back to the Northwoods. Isn't it, Jared? Yeah. And spring is in the air. We see mushrooms starting to grow. We'll probably see these get pretty large. We're trying to figure out what type this is. It could be hens of the wood or chicks of the wood. So I can't wait to go foraging for some mushrooms around our property. We do have quite a lot of areas that have some really good supply. So in a couple of weeks, it's going to be that season. And we've got all kind of creatures on our farm. They serve their purpose. We have rodents, and so therefore, so here we have already some containers filled with maple sap, with the plans of processing them to get syrup. So they're pretty full on each one, and then what we do is strain out the debris, because that's what it is. And you strain it and boil it, and you just keep straining it, and there's all kind of...
And we boil it and we strain it.
There we go. Another container full, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have our makeshift barbecue thing, which to boil. So here we go. We have this going in order to render some maple syrup. There you go. Look at that. And you see that color starting to come through, that golden color that you're accustomed to with maple syrup. So it takes hours and hours to do, sometimes even up to 8 hours. It all depends on the amount, or even more. So we have a lot of boiling to go, and this has not reduced yet. If you look closely, you'll see some legs. That's a brown girl. She's the only one left, and others have passed away. So she's decided to take up residence with our family dog.
Well,
in the dog shed.
Chickens, and they died.
So here's what about 15 gallons worth of maple sap is reduced to. It still needs to reduce even further. We're now inside. As you saw earlier, we were outside doing the initial boil down, and then now brought it inside to kind of finish off, so we get the texture, the consistency that we like. There is a more scientific way to do it, such as making sure that there's a specific temperature. I would advise you to go and look that up. Again, we are newbies, so it's a lot of work to make maple syrup. Now we have such a greater appreciation for the work that it takes to make a product that we use, pretty regularly. I know most people use maple syrup in various forms for various recipes, but it does take a lot of work. So I'll show you the finished product. So what we're looking at is about 40 gallons of maple sap that has been reduced down. So, yep, there is significant amount of appreciation for the food that we take in. It does take work, and really good quality stuff really do cost. As you can see, that wonderful color, very nice, very dark. It's really lovely, it's delicious. We've had some of this already on some cornbread, and it is good. I'll show you the consistency now. Here you go. Here's the consistency of this syrup. Oh, look at that. Nice. And this is really delicious. So there you go, our first attempt at rendering some maple syrup. Josiah is really pleased with the result. We still have some more to reduce down, and we have a few more bottles, but this will serve us well for at least this season. And so we'll be able to do a lot more next season now that we are aware of the process. It does take work, definitely, but it's a really good activity for our young son and for us to learn more about it. Yeah, all right, well, so like to say bye for now from Bramblebee Farm as we continue to reduce our maple syrup and collect our maple syrup for the year. So we hopefully wouldn't have to buy any this year. We'll see how long the amount that we have lasts. Look for our future videos. We will be setting up the bees soon as our season opens up and the flowers are out and the bees do what they do best. And so we should be having some more bee care videos and honey videos and wonderful things around the farm. Remember to like, subscribe, and share so that others can learn who want to try out this homesteading life and see how it is and learn more. We are always learning, so we're not experts. And so as we start to do our farming, we will be sharing that with you, and our gardening and all the things that we do here. All right, have a wonderful day.